And one. Good evening. It is Thursday. I don't remember which day. I think it's the 22nd. It's the 22nd.
Yep.
It is the 22nd.
It is.
It is the 22nd, and it is February, and we're inching just that closer to spring. And I know that my antihistamines budget will be increasing, and my Kleenex budget will be increasing. I actually like the Puffs Plus with the lotion in it. Has a much better texture and it holds up better to my my energetic and powerful sneezes. As you can tell, I am not a fan of spring.
God, me either.
I despise the sudden increase in noise. I actually like birds, but when they're all saying stuff at the same time, that's a little irritating. I love the silence of winter. You ever go out in a really cold, still night and just enjoy the silence because you could hear a pin drop?
Yes.
I fucking love that.
Me too, dude.
Springtime, you don't get that so much. You get the chirping birds. You get the various bugs that are now sprouting forth. You get you get the planty aroma, the sort of musty, wet planty aroma, and so on and so forth.
I've got a little bit of a problem at my apartment complex. I've got this bird, this cardinal, that keeps coming back, even when it should be, south for the winter, and it just keeps pecking at my goddamn window. I swear to God, I actually was looking up how to kill birds.
Yeah, they're kind of mean bastards too. Yeah, buddy, you got a problem on your hands there.
And so I've done a whole bunch of stuff too. I put up photos of owls into my window. Didn't stop it.
No.
Well, if it was an Arizona cardinal, of course he'd be accused of racism.
I was going to say, Uzi Q, we have these kiosks at our apartment complex where you get your mail, and there was this tree that was by our primary mailbox, and for a while there, every time she would go get the mail, it would attack her. I mean,
ouch!
Down and bop her on the head, and then and she would come in crying and shit, going, "Oh, the bird!" And I said, "I'll go get that fucking bird." And I went out there, and a motherfucker came after me, and I ran and screamed like a girl, man. It terrified me. It was the craziest thing.
Yeah. Magpies are notorious for that kind of behavior. They will.
So are sparrows.
Yeah, they will stake out a territory and they will swoop down at you if you enter their cage of doom. Their zone of no trespassing. They're no-go zones. Burnside, where are you with the Allahu bird bar?
He's on his way to work.
He's on his way to work. Oh man, yes. His snarky Allahu permutations are kind of like a staple of Chaos 120. We look forward to it every time. Anytime that there's a mention of an extreme element, then you're rest assured to hear an Allahu something.
Well, and I'm starting to vibe. I'm starting to groove on his vibe now, and I've kind of understand. I translate him better.
Yeah.
My brain receives him much better now.
Right. Sometimes I feel that Chaos 120 needs subtitles for Burnside,
or somebody in the corner just doing shit with their hands.
Somebody who can translate Burnsideese.
I might try to rig something like that for next week's.
That's
somebody in the corner just doing hand gestures and shit. That would be.
You just gotta hang out with him for a bit. You'll get his.
I'm grooving on. I'm grokking that dude. I'm into him.
He's a good guy. He's a funny guy. I like streaming with him.
Indeed.
Somebody that is in our community right now is kind of in a bad way, and we really only have speculation. We really only have theory as to why that is. Last night we were informed that Suit Yourself, a really good content creator. If you're not, well, you can't really subscribe to him now, but
He does have a new channel though.
If find his new.
Too.
What's that?
Suit Yourself 2.
Okay, so when you guys get through listening to us, and I guess listening to the Minions sometime later this evening, find his channel and sub to him. Because if you don't, then you're letting the bad guys win. You're letting the bad YouTube system win, and you're certainly letting the asshole that flagged his privatized video win. So yeah, this is truly a bizarre situation. I was talking with Adamantine and a bunch of other people this morning, and there's one of two scenarios that we're looking at. We're looking at somebody that works for YouTube, somehow yanking this video and flagging it, or it was somebody that was so obsessed with taking Suit Yourself down that they went through his entire Twitter history in order to find a link to a video that had been later privatized. So we're dealing with some kind of nefarious asshole either way. And the question is why? Even just as important as who, why? And
yeah. I think the major thing for a lot of these sorts of people, especially when they get into flagging sort of thing, especially for, like content on YouTube, they have to be cross in some way, and usually it's for no particularly discernible reason. It's for something that they perceive as a slight when it's not that important, and
right.
That sort of thing happens entirely too often.
Yeah, it certainly does. It certainly does. Some people just cannot handle conflict in a reasonable fashion. Mm-hmm. Lose an argument. Okay, you feel bad for a little while, but you get over it and you move on. Some people don't have that ability. Some people get proven wrong. And they take it very personally, and pretty much.
Well, I mean, is it even another content creator, or is it just like what normally happens, where it's a bunch of people that are angry and kind of obsessed over someone on someone else's behalf? That's what it always seems to be.
Yeah, yeah, in a lot of ways. Yes. I would say at least 3/4 of the stories that I've ever heard about somebody's that gets flagged and has their whatever penalty results from that, depending on how many penalties they've incurred, and yeah, it's a lot of times it is somebody's fan base that takes the unilateral decision to wreck somebody's channel.
So it wasn't a privated video that got flagged?
From what I understand, it was a privatized video. However, if you post a link to a video, this is just my really vague understanding of how the platform works. If you post a link to a video and then later privatize it, that link is still out there, so somebody could find it and use it as a basis for flagging. And that's my understanding. I could be very wrong about that. We were speculating about that this morning. I can't remember who brought it up, but that was their understanding of how this stuff works.
It's just fucked up. You know, and I'm with you, man. Just take the L and move the fuck on, and like a grown up. You know, learn from it, and whatever your weaknesses were, whether it was a competition or some type of argument or something, learn the skills that you were deficit in, and get better, and then come back until you take the W.
Yeah.
It's you don't have to act like a fucking 5-year-old and take your ball and go home, or take a crap all over the everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
Do you find that it's because a lot of people nowadays just can't handle and not just like criticism, but just can't handle the same sort of civil, and maybe even not civil discourse that some people can have in interpersonal reactions or interpersonal actions. Like if someone is somewhat rude to them or something like that, they feel like they overreact. That's what I feel like. Well, that's what I think happens with a lot of these people, because they're getting into the mindset of if I feel this way, then that means that it's bad, and it's objectively bad. It's not subjectively bad. It's objectively bad. So there needs to be punishment, and there's just too much of this sort of mindset, and I think that's what's fueling a lot of these people, especially with their kind of like vigilante sort of sides that we're seeing a lot of these people trying to bring out.
It's either narcissism or narcissism on someone's behalf, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah, and that's a perfect word for it too. It's narcissism. I've been like beating that drum for such a long time, especially on the Minions. When I've like read some of the articles that really get under my skin, it's just got this air of entitlement and narcissism. Like their perspective is the like end all be all, and there is no other way to interpret it. So it's like it grates on my nerves sometimes.
Yeah, they're convinced that their farts smell like roses.
Yeah,
indeed.
Hey, Cass, what's going on, man?
What's up? So, hello.
Hey, dude.
Welcome to the show.
The furry's back for his yiffin.
That's that. I'm beginning to. I'm beginning to want to call it the furry Bernie Sanders.
I like it.
His unrelated cousin, Bernie.
Furry Sanders. Oh my gosh, the Marxist furry. You'll love breadlines. You'll have a yiffing good time on the breadlines. Oh boy. So Cass, we're talking about the suit yourself situation. Again, we have some updates. He does have a new channel going now.
I just subbed now to it.
Yeah,
good. Linked it.
Good job. I want everybody in the chat to sub to his channel. I threw that in there for you guys to take advantage of. I want this man to have as much support as he can possibly get, because this is bullshit. I don't care who it was, or I don't care why it was that this action was taken against him. It's bullshit, and it's led to a lot of speculation, a lot of theories as to who could have done this. The theory that we're playing with now is a disgruntled fan of somebody that suit debunked or otherwise had proven wrong and is white knighting. The theory that we were playing with last night was might have possibly been one of the kind of Hearts Progress pro-pedo people going after him, because it's well known that Suit Yourself is a highly anti-pedo, and a lot of his material reflects that.
Mhm.
So there it could be any one of a lot of explanations, but the plain and simple fact here is that a content creator was shut down because somebody flagged a video. That's that's petty. That's petty. If you can't win an argument on your own merit, don't resort to that kind of thing. Don't do this underhanded campaign
Just
of
keep scrolling, motherfuckers.
right. Trolling for all its flaws and faults is actually far healthier than vengeance.
Yeah. I mean, if someone from Heart Progress did that, they're obviously not going to care. These are the same guys who try to impersonate Miss Misa as a pedophile supporter and trying to trick people into believing that was legitimate somehow.
Right.
So,
and the people that engage in this kind of campaign, just by the simple fact that his channel was shut down, proves that his arguments were better.
Yeah.
If anybody had a disagreement with him, they lost every argument they've ever had with him, because that proves that he was right.
Yeah, and I was going to say, the last night's show, it's up and available. It's on my it's listed on my channel, but it's the last part of it features a person named Bubonic for You, and Bubonic is doing a lot of work against these. I don't want to call them humans, but I don't know what else to
individuals.
Sick, right? These evil fucks.
These entities.
I consider him, especially after last night, a friend of mine in the shows. We have the same goals in mind. I'd rather get flagged for 5 minutes of taking one of them motherfuckers out than a whole lifetime of doing nothing. So that's just the way I feel about these guys.
The link to his channel is in the description as well. Sub to him as well. Show him support.
Indeed.
Yeah, we have to be vigilant. We have to be aware. We have to keep frosty, like the old saying goes. We got to keep frosty.
That's right.
I thought, oh God, what was it? Aliens. It was Stay Frosty.
Oh, okay. Stay frosty. Okay. I've seen that movie about 70 times. I get that line wrong all the time.
I don't find it hyperbolic at all to say that you've seen some sorts of those kinds of movies hundreds of times. I could sit there and say that I've seen probably Monty Python and the Holy Grail hundreds of times, and I'll give you an example of how I can say that. It's not to say that I've literally taken the DVD, popped it in my DVD player, and watched it 100 times. Yeah. I'm saying that in a combination of times like that, times when I've gone over to someone else's house and they're already playing it, or there was a time where I went down to my local pub, it's called the Public House over here, and I go in there and they're setting up a projector screen in the back of the bar. I'm all like, what's going on here? And they go, well, we've got this promotional, and there's this craft beer, and he goes and he gets it and he pulls it out, puts it on the bar, and he goes, it's called Monty Python's Holy Grail Ale, and as part of the promotion, we're screening the movie tonight. I'm like, okay, give me one, turn around and watch the movie.
That's funny. So there are a handful of movies that I can watch over and over and over again and never get tired of. It's inexplicable. I don't know. Other movies I watch once and I'll lose taste for it. But there are some movies, and it's very bizarre. I would say that there's at least a couple of dozen movies that I can watch repeatedly without feeling any sort of real significant diminishing returns, even with like repeated viewings in a certain day. Iron Man would be one. Ocean's 11 would be one. Aliens, of course, was one. Funny enough, The Nut Job. Is one of those
Animated
movies.
feature? Yes, it was surprisingly a good movie.
Yeah, it was. I expected very little from it, but it turned out to be a pretty funny movie. I got the sequel rented on Netflix right now. It's not quite as good as the first one, but it's not bad.
I'd say my favorite.
I could watch over and over again.
My
What's
favorite
that?
movie. Oh, go ahead.
I
Tara's
was just
watching
saying,
Army
I
of
got a
Darkness
few I
right
could
now.
watch over and over again.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
watching
Army of Darkness.
Oh, hold on. I got something for you then, Tara. Here, give me a sec.
Let's see. Repo, the Genetic Opera.
That was okay.
Fifth Element.
That's one, yeah. Multipass.
What about anybody seen Repo Man?
Repo Man, the
No, I haven't had an
genetic,
urge to see it.
was it
No,
genetic
no, the-
musical or something?
No, the one from the 1980s, Emilio
Yeah.
Estevez, 85-ish.
Yeah.
That it kind of turned. It started out like kind of like sort of like a coming of age sort of drama. Then it turned sci-fi. Like all of a sudden, it's like really.
It goes nuts. And
Yeah.
it's like real like meta for the time. It talks about Dianetics, but it's diuretics. And it was done by Michael Nesmith of the Monkees.
Mhm.
Wrote it and directed it. And it's just got all this kind of wild, weird shit in it. Yeah. And it ends up being about like UFOs and shit. It's fantastic.
Tara, check this out.
I'm waiting for your camera to pop up for me.
Oh, it should already be up, but yeah. And I say this is
Yeah, see, I have, just some 4G going right now. I don't have Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
You got the Necronomicon.
yeah. Well, the thing about it is this is the special edition of the first Evil Dead movie.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I've got the whole trilogy. I've got the remake, which I actually kind of like that movie.
It wasn't bad, man.
Combine Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, well, Evil Dead 2 is essentially a remake of Evil Dead 1.
Yeah,
That's
it's
slightly
Evil Dead
better.
one with
Yeah.
a good budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I actually did kind of like that one. It was a fairly good movie. It paid homage without being too like heavy-handed and trying to rewrite it. And then I've also got Ash versus the Evil Dead season 1. So
Yay! I
Season
need to see
3 is coming
seasons
out
2
soon.
and 3.
I think I'm on season 3.
I need to
We'll
get caught up.
yeah, season 3 is starting next week. So
Yay! I love it.
yeah.
Another one I can watch over and over and over and over and over and over again is Akira.
Akira. Yeah.
Dude, I was talking about that earlier. That's crazy. Did you? Oh, you were in the for a little while, weren't you? Where we were talking about some of that stuff.
Yeah, some of the older anime.
Yeah, with Brian and I. Yeah, that was a.
Man,
Yeah.
I could watch Perfect Blue every day. I fucking love that movie.
I have not heard of that.
It's by the animator Satoshi Kon.
Wow,
Hands down one of the best animators of all time. I've said it before, and on Chaos120, the world is a poorer place for his death, which was, I think, either a year or two ago.
What's the most famous?
Perfect Blue. But he also did Tokyo Godfathers. Paprika. He did a couple of others. He's got a very distinctive style. Just look up Perfect Blue. It's a psychological horror movie, and he's hands down one of the most talented animators, or was one of the most talented animators of all time. And yeah, it's unfortunate that he died, but yeah, Perfect Blue. Oh my God, that's a perfect film.
So it sounds like he went a little before his time.
Yeah, I think he was only like
Sucks.
50 something. Yeah, he was very young. I can't remember. I think it was cancer that got him. But yeah, my favorite movie, the movie I could watch day in, day out for the rest of my life. I think it is a perfect movie. Very, very little that I can find fault with it is the movie Stranger Than Fiction.
The Will Ferrell
movie, yes.
Yeah.
I don't like Will Ferrell, really either. I don't think he's very funny. The reason why Stranger Than Fiction is a good movie is because Will Ferrell isn't being funny. He's the straight man.
Yeah.
In fact, all of the comedy in that movie is from Emma Thompson. Oh God, what's her name? Queen Latifah. Dustin Hoffman. Just all of the supporting cast are who's funny. Will Ferrell is just the character who's the straight man through the whole film, the whole beginning of the film.
So about 3 or 4 more. Captain America: The First Avenger, Die Hard. Let's see, Predator: The First Predator.
I think Predator 2 is a better movie. It's an unpopular opinion, but yeah, I think it is.
You
don't think Danny Glover's too old for this shit?
No.
I think they both stand
Danny
up.
Glover did a better job than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think they're both equal in their merit. They're both were excellent. I think. Yeah.
They're near equal, and it's largely due to the quality of the cast.
Yeah.
And second one, Gary Busey being Gary Busey. That's that's always a treat.
Yeah, classic. Oh God, what was the name of that? Johnny Utah, fucking
Point Break.
Point Break. Yeah. Yes, that era where he was still had his brain and was still riding motorcycles without his helmet, but still, hadn't had the accident. So, the
classic, yeah, classic Gary Busey.
He was a Texas boy, wasn't he?
I don't know exactly where he was from, but
he always gave me that impression.
Yeah. Just have to Google that one.
I'm probably wrong, but
another classic, I would say classic disaster movies, like The Towering Inferno, Earthquake, Poseidon Adventure. I can watch those over and over and over and over again and not get bored. Because I like, the thing about disaster movies is I like the way each of the first 3 acts introduce little ratchets up. Something bad happens here, something bad happens there, and you get to see how a disaster unfolds, like from the first step to the final, when the bow breaks and everything goes to hell after that. That's what always fascinates me about disaster movies. I haven't seen Geostorm yet, so don't spoil that one for me.
Do you remember when Earthquake was in the theaters and they had the thing that was called, what was it called? It wasn't surround sound, but it was something in Dynarama or some shit like that. And what it is,
a little before my time, but
they had a bunch of subwoofers with and they were cranked, man. And when you were in the theater, you could feel it rumbling in your guts, man. It was great. I saw that movie like 6 times at the theater. I love that shit so much. And I didn't see it for the movie as much as I did the effect.
Who was that hot little French Canadian actress? I can't remember. I never can remember her name.
Genevieve Bonjour.
Oh, there you go. Just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, some set.
Easy for you to say.
Someday I don't forget.
That's what she said.
Well, let's see. We're gonna go into a brief NHL break and get everybody caught up on the scores here. We have at the end of the second period, Colorado Edmonton is 2-1 in favor of Edmonton. Let's see, 1:30 left in the second period for the Calgary Arizona game. Calgary is currently up 3-1 on Arizona. The Dallas Stars LA Kings game just started, 1918 in the first. Unfortunately, Irving's not favorite team. I mean, Irving's not favorite team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, have defeated the New York Islanders, unfortunately. Sorry, Scoob. Let's see. Minnesota Wild have defeated the New Jersey Devils 4-2. And it looks like the Columbus Blue Jackets have lost to the Philadelphia Flyers. And that was a 2-1 score. And, of course, this NHL break brought to you by the next 6 minutes. So, Cass, what are the movies that you can watch over and over and over again and never get tired?
I'll probably go with one off the top of my head. Starship Troopers.
Ah, it's a great movie.
There you go.
Are you fucking kidding me, man?
Starship Troopers.
I was
Desire to know more intensifies.
Yeah.
It was so fucking funny because my wife's just like, oh my God. Every time it's on, I'm plopping down right then and there, and I got to watch the whole movie all the way through.
Yeah. Hey, we were just talking about Gary Busey.
Yeah, his son Jake's in it.
Jake Busey is in Starship Troopers. He plays the kind of hard ass squad leader.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to know more?
Only good bug's a dead bug.
That's right. You want
I
to live
have to-
forever?
I have to-
live. Yes.
I have to respect the novel Starship Troopers because that's what inspired the heads of Games Workshop to make the Imperial Guard as an army. So
I remember watching the movie, then reading a bit of the novel, and I was like, holy shit, this is so much different than the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more
Allegedly.
Verhoeven's, like, I think Verhoeven wanted to just build a movie around an idea, and he used the book,
Yeah.
because I think he wanted to show the kind of like fascism-ish type in space. I think he always wanted to make a World War II movie, and that was it.
Essentially, what I've been hearing is that there's a remake of Starship Troopers in the works right now. And it
Yeah,
may
they're going to be a
following the
mix
book.
of the books and the movies, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Roughnecks cartoon that I actually watched when I was a kid.
it can't. Oh, wow, but you can't get worse than the sequel, Starship Troopers, though.
Oh
so.
god,
good
fucking
on.
laser lamps as guns.
Yeah. The second one was kind of interesting. The whole sort of infestation theme.
It was a
Going on.
cheap ploy off of the thing.
Yeah, it was, but it was interesting that they, instead of going like another full balls out sort of war epic,
War,
it was more of a pressure cooker, more of a thriller than anything else. So I like it when movie series takes risks and goes a little bit off the rails, but it wasn't the best execution.
No. It was actually kind of a bad movie, dude.
It was the thought that counts. It was the thought that
There
counts.
you go. There's the thought. You know what I think is an entirely underrated movie, and I actually enjoy the shit out of it every single time I see it. Smokin' Aces.
There you go. Yeah.
I like Smoking Aces.
Yeah, I
Buddy.
think that's a very underrated movie. It's actually a really damn good movie.
The only problem
Another
I have
movie
with
that's
it,
actually underrated, and a lot of people say it's boring, but I find it intriguing. Enemy Mine.
And
Oh,
is
yeah,
that,
that's a great movie.
is that the one with Meg
was it-
Ryan? Meg Ryan and oh shit, what's his name?
No, it's got Lou Gossett Jr. and
one of the Quaids.
It's Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's two guys that are in a space war with each other, and they're both it's the ploy on the old Japanese and American soldier on a desert island by themselves, and it's like, but they're alien and human, and it's all about that it gets you to think about just what we do this shit for and everything.
Yeah.
What it's all about. I think it's a good movie too.
Yeah. So just going back to Smoking Aces, the one problem that I have with that movie is, okay, I don't know. maybe I'm spoiling things, but there's a scene where Taraji Henson has a 50 caliber rifle, and she's in an adjacent building, like not even really close. I mean, this building's like
it's like
a few blocks away.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Yeah, man. That's a great movie.
And she's shooting at the FBI guys, and they're firing back.
yeah.
with 9mm pistols.
Not only that, is like, where are those bullets going? They're shooting it out the window, yes.
Right. They're gonna
but-
hit the parking lot.
You're gonna hit the parking garage, like, two blocks down, because the bullet's just gonna fucking fall. It's not gonna travel that distance.
Ballistic drop, and just the velocity and the lack of energy.
I can get behind that, though. I mean, they don't know that they're getting shot at by a 50 caliber rifle like 4 blocks down the street. The only indication that I think that maybe you could see that is when the guy who gets hit by the bullet goes like flying across the room.
Yeah. Maybe that's the hint that there's something big.
When you see the head vaporize, missed.
That's not a 9mm will not do that. I don't care what it's made of or how it's designed. It's not going to do that.
Barrett 50.
Well, the other thing too is that she fires that gun fairly fucking quickly for such a small framed woman. I mean, like when was it Elia goes down in that scene, she's like, just pow 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 pow. I'm like, no way you're firing that without getting thrown across the room, lady.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to the wardrobe people. They made her really, really, really kind of butch looking. But this is a gorgeous woman. Have you seen her when she's not in that movie? Wow.
Like I said, man, I think that movie is actually kind of brilliant. I mean,
it's
like one part Kevin Smith movie with how much fucking actual dialogue there is in it. There's a lot of fucking talking in that movie. It's 90% talking, and then there's like 10% action. But it's like all this like multi-layered story, everything going on all at the same time, and then it just builds to this horrible climax, and you're not really sure where the hell it's going. I think it's a very underrated movie.
It is, and its sequel is also very underrated as well.
I thought the sequel was okay. I thought
it's not a real. It's actually a prequel.
Yeah, I know, but I just think that the first one, it was a little bit better.
It was made with a fraction of the budget of the first one. So
true.
Straight to video, fraction of the budget. Great cast. That's the cast. The cast really made it something special. If it had just been a bunch of nobodies, it'd probably just be a forgettable cash grab. But this was decently put together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's his name? Oh God. Trying to think of his name now. The actor's name. Tommy Flanagan was in both movies. So I've got to say something. And that dude. That's proof to testament that you don't necessarily need to be a hunk of burning man to be able to make it in Hollywood. Right. Dude has a Glasgow smile, and he's a movie star.
Yeah, he has been around forever.
Yeah. Chibs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a big Sons of Anarchy fan, so yeah.
Well, we have a couple of stories that I want to get to here. You'll love this headline here. And this, of course, is brought to us by our senior Florida correspondent, Colleen Bernier.
Colleen Bernier.
She comes through with some good ones here. Okay. Man sets crackhead neighbor's Corvette on fire in revenge, police say. Suspect thought neighbors stole his lawnmower, according to report. Tara, this was in Edgewater.
I've never been there. I'm not worried about it.
Okay. Edgewater, Florida. A man is accused of setting his neighbor's Corvette on fire because he's suspected of them stealing his lawnmower, according to Edgewater Police Department. Police say they were called to a home on Queen Palm Drive around 11 p.m. Tuesday in reference to a vehicle fire. A man who was home at the time of the fire said he saw his neighbor Brandon Rivera setting his roommate's red 1984 Chevrolet Corvette on fire, according to the affidavit. The car belongs to a married couple who lives at the home. Police said they spoke to Rivera, and he told them that he suspected the couple of stealing things from him, including his lawnmower. Rivera said he couldn't find lighter fluid, so he grabbed a Gatorade bottle filled with gasoline that he had in his vehicle from a landscaping job. Interesting. He first attempted to pour the fluid through the cracked window on the Corvette, but when that didn't work, he opened the door and dumped the gasoline on the seat. Then he used a lighter to set it on fire.
Why didn't he just do that in the first place? Why didn't he just open the door? He's like, I'm going to be all sneaky about lighting this thing on fire.
When it comes to Florida Man, I never credit him with coming up with the right way to do things. Okay, police say Rivera shut the car door and walked away because he thought the fire appeared small. The roommate oh boy. The roommate of the couple who owns the Corvette used a garden hose to extinguish the flames. The top of the Corvette had a covering placed over it Thursday morning. Rivera, 38, was charged with burglary and arson. I don't know why he was charged with burglary. He didn't really steal anything. More to the point, he actually increased the number of items to that car and then subtracted the entire car. Florida math. Florida math. Sorry, Tara, I had to.
Yeah.
Tara's our resident Floridian. And,
Tara, don't take it personally. I live in Alabama, so you know what I get.
Yeah, I know. My brother back all the time. He's Alabama.
Yeah, they want to know if Uzi Q's my sister and shit.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I've never asked that, but is she?
No. I kind of wish she was though. It'd be hot.
Oh my gosh. It's like
I missed it.
game of prostate. Oh my gosh. You'll love this one. You'll love this one. Atlanta Airport is now offering flights to where? To where? To Wakanda. Okay, well, I hope you don't have to pay too much for the ticket. That's kind of like flying to the Bermuda Triangle. Okay. It started with a tweet, but given the hysteria around everything Black Panther, the busiest airport in the world knew exactly what it was doing. On Monday, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport tweeted a digitally altered picture of Gate T3, which showed a flight departing at 7:30 p.m. The destination? The Kingdom of Wakanda. They knew the way.
They knew the way, yeah.
They knew the way, my brothers. They knew the way.
We must find the plane. We must find the plane.
The plane, boss! The plane!
You must have Ebola to find the plane.
The plane, where's the plane? The plane.
The
We must find our vibranium. Oh my gosh. Wakanda, of course.
I feel old.
I used to watch that live. I didn't this. I didn't watch it syndicated. I watched it live when it came on TV.
Yep. I remember those days.
It was fun times. Yeah. Wakanda, of course, is fictional, the home of Prince T'Challa and his superhero alter ego Black Panther. It's also the center of Black Panther, which has just set box office records for the biggest President's Day opening. Soon after the airport's tweet, the important questions started coming in. From Risotto Groupon, which airline is that, and does it have Wi-Fi? Atlanta Airport, let's see. Atlanta Airport replied, and we have the fastest Wi-Fi nationwide. Let's see, somebody named Kito Sinjish, CIN''J. So, when you get to Wakanda, do they put a necklace of purple power flowers around your neck? Atlanta Airport replies, yep. SFL Realtor says, y'all taking Sky Miles or nah? Airport says nah. Okay, Black Panther actress Lupita Nyong'o, who plays the warrior goddess Nakia, wondered about the in-flight entertainment. Apart from La Femme Nakia, what else is on the in-flight entertainment? T'Challa's Angels, M'Baku to the Future, Shuri's Gotta Have It, Killmonger Bill, Wakabi in the Woods. She has a bit of a sense of humor. Let's see. Atlanta Airport replies, we've got some music on the in-flight entertainment too. Now streaming Killmonger Me Softly, T'Challa Black Girl, M'Baku That Thing Up, Straight Out of Wakanda, Najaka Said Knock You Out. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. The punnage. The punnage. It's a tonnage of punnage.
Oh man.
Somebody else was curious about the food. So Call Me Shuri says, what's the food we're serving on that flight?
Here's someone was, I'm putting in the side chat here. Here's a tweet I sent out the other day.
Oh my gosh!
Please read it. Please read it if you want.
Well, yeah, of course.
In that beautiful voice.
Based Mama is selling tickets to the Kilroy Carnival cruise to Wakanda for this summer. Book your rooms now. $85,000 a room. Ball pits assured. This is a limited offer.
Ball pits assured.
Oh,
as long as they don't advertise the orgy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was in Derek. Some black guys had cheated, had put something about Wakanda or something in there, and that was a variation of that. I put it in a response, and he like really buried it very quickly. How do you bury a response on your Twitter? I need to learn how to do that stuff.
That reminds me of the days of Dig. Anybody remember Dig?
It does not ring a bell. Tell me.
Dig was kind of a sort of a news aggregation website, very similar in some respects to Reddit now. But one of the things that could happen on Dig was if a story was published on Dig, then users could quote unquote bury the story by giving it downvotes, and thus remove it from the most popular page, or remove it from most active, like it popping up on screen when you load pages and stuff like that.
I do have to say, I do think that Twitter should have a downvote system.
Yeah, that'd be
acceptable.
Yeah, it might mitigate maybe a small fraction of the spatitudes that you see.
Well, I get into quite a bit, but still, I say, go full imager on it. I don't think it's gonna stop people like me from trying to take a piss.
Yeah. Speaking of piss, Muslims, our good friends, and the land of Islam. Muslims burn piles of Pampers, nappies, and call for a ban because cartoon cats' whiskers printed on them look like the Arabic spelling of Muhammad.
Oh.
Does anybody remember several years ago they raised quite a stink? I think it was Nike or British Knights or some shoe brand had this abstract art on the side of their shoe that they said too closely resembled the characters for Muhammad. Jacob Jett, you have just arrived at the perfect time to hear about Muslims burning diapers.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
They brought this up very briefly during the Lords of the Night stream, but I don't exactly remember what they said.
Okay, well, I will inform you then. Okay. Sweet. Muslim protests in India are calling for a boycott of Pampers products after claiming to have seen the word Muhammad in the face of a cartoon cat which appears on its nappies. The lines illustrating the whiskers, nose, mouth, and left eye of the smiley feline have been suggested to resemble the Prophet's name when written in Arabic or Urdu, although the company that makes the products vehemently denied the claims. Procter & Gamble in a statement said that they would never intend to offend any person or religion, and the design showed an innocent animated representation of a cat. However, the image of the hygiene product has been branded an insult to Islam by critics, and protesters have staged Pampers burnings. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is one of those things. I can't remember the psychological terminology, the psychology terminology of finding patterns where they don't exist. This is a really big stretch. I'll put this in the side chat so you guys can see for it. This is a huge fucking stretch. This is virtue signaling, and it's one of its worst forms.
That's wacky as hell.
Yeah.
Hey, Jacob Jets, nice to meet you after all this time. It's Irate Prostate. Howdy.
Hey, Prostate.
Hey.
Yeah, Irate Prostate, man. He's kind of a regular on Minions, man. You got to come over and see us more often, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Video footage viewed more than 175,000 times.
I will. I have a mouthful of shit. I mean, food.
Shows outraged parents making pyres out of Pampers baby dry pants in the streets of India and torching whole packets in protest. Oh, man. Activists from the Islamic group Darsaga. Ooh, holy shit. Holy shit. There's like fucking lightning and thunder outside. I was not expecting that. Wow. Ooh, freaky. This Darsag Jihad Shadat yesterday lodged a formal complaint about the nappies at the Dabirpura police station in Hyderabad. Really? Hyderabad. Oh, sorry. I read that wrong. It's like Hail Hydra. Reports the Deccan Chronicle. In a letter to police, the group said Pampers, owned by the U.S. multinational Procter & Gamble, had hurt the feelings of the Muslim community and called for the products to be taken off the shelves immediately. It stated, even with the parentheses, the bare eye, it has been identified that the name of the Prophet, peace be upon him, can be seen printed on it in Urdu Arabic. Interesting. That's a big ass stretch. You can see for yourself in the side chat, and the thunder is going on again.
So they can they not say Muhammad or some shit, or can they just not write it? I'm confused.
It can. I think it can be written, but this is something that could be construed as being an object that's used for its particular purpose. Having the name Muhammad on it. Shoes was another big one, because they're really strange about showing the bottoms of feet, and certainly the contact with any object with shoes. It's and a lot of cultures that
so like the idea of Muhammad flip flops is pretty much out then.
Pretty much, yeah. You won't see any Muhammad Crocs.
Damn it.
I was hoping to see that.
Yes, the power of the Prophet on your feet.
It's like dating an Islamic girl. She's like, I showed you my ankles. Now answer me.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the Prophet.
You need to talk a little bit more like this if you want to be like Shadman. You just need to draw super fucking good on your Sintich.
Oh man. The Prophet Muhammad, it added, was a holy personality in Islam, and the disrespect cannot be tolerated. The letter went on to say, arrest them and punish them. A spokesman for Pampers owner Procter & Gamble said, we are aware of the false and misleading information about Pampers being spread via social media channels such as Facebook and YouTube. The design on the Pampers baby dry pants shows an innocent animated representation of a cat. It shows a cat's mouth and whiskers like it is commonly portrayed in drawings and cartoons across the world, especially by little children. The intent behind the use of this cartoon is completely innocent, and we would never intend to offend anybody, religion, or cultural belief. Some social media users joined the calls for Pampers boycott, while others insisted the cartoon was just an innocent drawing of a cat, which had been taken out of context. Nasar Alam Khan wrote, please request every Muslim brother and sister to boycott this product. It's the only way to prove our strength and love for our Prophet, because you cannot drive a truck of peace into a cartoon cat. Anyhow, Imatayaz Naiku commented, please grow up. It's a cat with 2 eyes and a mustache.
Fair enough.
I would tend to agree, yes. Azam Sharif said, maybe it's the fault of the creative team, but whatever the case is, directly or indirectly, it's manifesting the name of our holy prophet. That is a sheer desecration. It's insulting. Don't use the product until they change this, until they apologize.
Maybe they just want to swaddle their baby with the prophet. What's so wrong about that?
But
it's not like they're shitting on it. It's on the outside of the goddamn diaper.
Your child would be protected and dry with the power of Muhammad, the prophet. We are so this stream will never be monetized.
Well, see, this is like one of those things, like when, like, all right, like say I say something 6 months, even 2 years ago to Uzi Q that pisses her off, right? A certain combination of words, right? I'm supposed to remember, like, until the day I drop dead, that combination of words offends her, right?
Yeah.
And it can be an innocuous combination of words, and I'm not referring to her or anything in specific. I'm just saying, hey, it's, you know, shit like that happens, especially with I'm not going to say. Well, you know what? That's interesting, because how do they expect us or anybody, any company or corporation, to like, you know, just like, all right, so they probably have like all this artwork worked up, and some person just innocuously picks the artwork and puts it on there, right?
They have this unrealistic expectation, like every creative office in every advertising advertising wing for every company has their Islamic consultant. They run this shit by all the time, and if their Islamic consultant is any way offended, then as evil Western devils, they put that product forth for consumption of the public, including those, of course, of Islamic. So yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay.
I don't understand how someone can be that humorless. Like, they can't.
Well, they obsess over it because it's a cultural obsession. It's kind of like I don't even have any real actual Western equivalents of that. It's I guess Marxism would probably be the closest equivalent. Extreme feminism would probably be another. It's an extreme and passionate ideology, and they have an obsession even more than even some of the most fundamentalist Christians. You have to dig damn deep and find the farthest fringes of Christendom to dig up just a scant handful of people that are even anywhere in the same It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, quiz, how many articles have you read on the minions that have been as humorless as this guy?
True.
Yeah. You should know this by now.
Yeah, it seems so odd to me that someone takes themselves that seriously.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Yeah. Well, it's that's one of the key differences between Islam and Christianity is in Christianity, you're given the option to follow follow God, recognize Jesus Christ as the Messiah, or not. That's up to you. It's the whole free will thing. Yep. In Islam, it's very different. It's either you accept that Muhammad is the prophet of the Lord, or
his teachings are the word of God, or
be like, follow Allah and fuck your 12-year-old sister or else.
Well, it's so weird too, because it's not like all of this sort of stuff that's in the Quran. That's all well and good, but that's not the major tenets of the religion anymore. It's in the hadiths. That's what separates a lot of the different sects of Islam from each other, and the reason why they're so radically different between each other. It's not the fact that it's in the Quran, it's in the hadiths.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I have to point out to a lot of people, when they try to correct me on stuff that's in the Quran, I ask them, where is it in the book that you read this? And they said, oh, well, it's somewhere near the beginning, I think. And then I will, soberly and plainly and calmly inform them. Well, here's the thing: how the Quran works. The early writings, it's oddly chronological. The earliest writings are in the early parts of the Quran. Even if stuff in the later parts completely contradict are contradicted by what's in the early part, it's the later stuff that holds precedence, because that's the way they think of it, that the later stuff is stuff that Muhammad came up with later, and it holds more weight than stuff that he came up with earlier. That's the way they look at it.
Allahu research bar.
There we go. We needed you earlier. So we had many Allahu this and Allahu that puns.
Oh, damn it. What's the Allahu misbar? I heard Muhammad and I went, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, we're reading this ridiculous article about these Muslims in India and the Islamic part of that country, that they are very much up in arms about an innocuous design of a cartoon cat on some diapers that they say resemble the written characters in the name of Muhammad.
They use diapers.
Evidently.
Make their own. They were Allahu banned bar because, you're supposed to be a primitivist if you're an extremist. Because
this part of Islam is I think is a little more modern, but
well, there's also probably a lot of foreign aid. That's the reason why you see a lot of those kinds of Western products over there.
Interesting.
So they're burning the diapers and calling for boycotts and just being as vocal as they possibly can about this, and which is to be expected. Well, let's see.
I am Mr. B.
Hey, Harley, how you doing, sweetheart?
Here's
you.
Here's one voice of reason. Amani Wani Chowdhury added, anything that is in your mind you can see or imagine because it's in your mind, not on diapers.
Very profound.
Yeah, that's the thing.
There's a couple of sane minds out there.
Yeah, there's some Muslims that I'm absolutely certain are not fucking lunatics. I mean, what's his name? Trying to think of the imam. that's calling for reform.
What is his name? The guy in Australia.
Yeah.
I think that's Tariq.
I can't remember his name, but anyway, there's plenty. There are plenty of people that are actually calling this kind of lunacy out.
This is where we need Irving. He knows every single one of them that want the Allahu Reform Bar. We had a debate on this.
I think is his name.
Tweety, yeah.
But yeah, there's so many that you know. But see, that's the thing is that their voices of reason are drowned out by the insanity.
Yeah. Because the ones that are the most crazy are certainly the loudest and most vocal.
Yep, and they're really killing everybody that disagrees with them, which is why there's been constant strife in India between the Hindus and the Muslims. Because one wants to Allahu exterminate the other bar, and the other wants to pray all day, and well, maybe we'll go shoot them later. You know, and then the British came in and they said, okay, well, now we have to spend that shooting time in the British.
It's you guys got about maybe 14 minutes before the start of Minions, so I may get one or two stories in here, but let's see. Here's one that robber shot himself trying to pistol whip victim.
Oh, did this happen in Chicago?
No, this happened in New Jersey. Unfortunately, this is it's part of their statistics.
Still Yankees.
God damn it.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, if you're gonna pistol whip somebody, don't put your finger on the trigger.
Yeah, no. Not even in the trigger guard.
Grab the barrel.
No, you don't breach the trigger guard. You just grab a hold of the barrel and
you make sure the hammer is down.
Good point. Good point. Because if the hammer is dislodged, it's that the pin's gonna hit. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Woodbury, New Jersey. Police in New Jersey say a robber shot himself in the hand while attempting to pistol whip a victim. Woodbury police responded to the scene of the shooting Tuesday night. In NewJersey.com reports police learned a group of 4 people allegedly planned to rob their 20-year-old acquaintance, but the attempted robbery went south after one of the robbers accidentally shot himself while hitting the victim in the head with a gun. The robbers fled, but were quickly apprehended not far from the scene. Police say the gun used in the assault was found in the suspect's car. The robbery victim and suspect were taken to hospitals for treatment of injuries that were not life-threatening. All 4 suspects now face charges. Police say the robbery remains under investigation. Oh, this guy looks like a winner.
Wow. You know what they won? Free sodomy for life.
Yeah.
In prison. Free prison. Congratulations, you dumbass.
Have your own personal big bubble in the room.
Yeah. Even when hitting somebody over the head, you still need to adhere to proper firearm safety, or else you'll get shot in the hand like an idiot.
You know, if anybody wants somebody with a part of the gun, there's this one part that works really well for a crude melee weapon, and that's the clip. You can eject the clip and just beat people with it or stab them with it. But if you've got spare bullets on you, you'll be perfectly fine.
I say it's the same sort of thing as like taking, picking up any sort of hard object, like say a rock, putting it in your hand, and then just clubbing someone with your hand. Yep. I mean, it's the same sort of thing. You know, you just got the magazine in your hand, holding it nice and tight. It's gonna act kind of like a brass knuckle. You may break a couple of fingers, but you will beat the ever-loving fuck out of someone with it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have sort of a feel good story to send you fellas off with, and well, let's see, a cat that was stuck in a garbage disposal rescued by Pennsylvania police.
Aww.
A catastrophe was avoided Saturday thanks to a Pennsylvania police officer. A curious cat got himself in a messy situation when he got stuck in a garbage disposal at a Wayne house in Tredyffrin, I don't know how to pronounce that, township, about 24 miles northwest of Philadelphia. It's one of these times when you need purposeful.
Yep.
It was a.
He can pronunciate.
Yes, you can. It's like the always corrects me on my Florida city pronunciation. We got that in purposeful discussion.
This because they've got these long, complicated names, but we know what they actually do. We know what they actually do.
It looks like Tready Friend something. Tready Friend Township. It was a kitten situation
or something.
What's that?
Teresa Lucifleur. I'm gonna guess at it. It's some type of oddball French name.
No, it looks like Tredyffrin. It's like Bufferin and Tready.
Yeah, that's not French. That's something.
So maybe Dutch.
No, with F's in it. So I have no idea what the hell.
Yeah,
how the hell
Dutch.
You pronounce that?
Anyhow, it was a kitten situation this Saturday in whatever township. After our officers were called to the residence of a family in the Wayne section whose cat got just a little too curious and was stuck in the garbage disposal. A picture of the cat is showed its wet head poking out of the disposal underneath the sink. Township Sergeant Brian Hughes arrived at the scene to help the family free the cat by using coconut oil. After grabbing a few tools and a bit of coconut oil, Sergeant Hughes worked for an hour to safely disassemble the disposal and successfully freed the trapped feline. Fortunately, the cat was unharmed. It's unclear exactly how the feline got into the garbage disposal in the first place. The department added, "Who says only firefighters rescue cats?" referring to the image of a firefighter being called to save felines stuck in trees. Facebook user Lynn Allendorf Niamoli, who appeared to be the cat's owner, commented on the post Wednesday saying Hughes and her son worked to calmly release the cat named Sam. He is fine now, but has been trying to find the monster who pulled him in, she wrote. Oh boy. Yeah, that's the feel-good story of the evening. That this wonderful kitty cat was successfully rescued from that mean old garbage disposal. And thank you, Sergeant Brian Hughes, for your kind and awesome act of kindness.
And your expertise in plumbing and cat wrangling.
There we go. And the expert use of coconut oil, a very underrated oil.
Yep, very. Most presume it's only used for hair of a particular kind. No, it is also used for cat wrangling and rescuing.
I fry my chicken in that stuff. Oh, and it doesn't taste good.
Interesting.
I was gonna make a cat frying joke, but I thought better of it.
Yeah.
That's a smart move.
Come on.
Okay.
India, I'm sure they wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah, probably not.
Or Thailand or someplace like
I do like the occasional Kung Pao kitten.
Fucking Chinese joints, you have to wonder if it's cat in your kapow.
Well,
okay, well, here in Gainesville, my mom said when she moved here, there were tons of stray cats. And then suddenly all these Chinese restaurants popped up and the stray cats disappeared.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
Jesus.
One Chinese restaurant actually got closed down because they were feeding the scraps to the alligators in Bivens Arm Lake.
Oh, cool.
That just encourages them to be more social when you don't want them to be social.
Yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't polecats like this next story. Smoke bomb intended to scare skunks sets house on fire. Burn it with fire. A Detroit area man's idea to use a smoke bomb to rid the crawl space of his home of skunks blew up in smoke, literally. Firefighters responded to a Monday morning.
Managed to fucking do that. It's nearly impossible to light anything on fire with a smoke bomb. I've tried.
Well,
apparently it's possible.
Never underestimate the power of Detroit. Firefighters responded to a call Monday morning to find the flames had spread from the crawl space to the first floor of the house. The Ferndale, Michigan man who was
$15 back from that bet. Motherfucker.
Yep. The Ferndale, Michigan man who was not identified by the paper told authorities he waited 15 minutes after the fire broke out to call 911. Because, hey, who's in a hurry? Who's in a hurry? The fire continued to spread throughout the house, resulting in what Sullivan described as a complete loss, with the occupant losing most of his belongings. No injuries were reported other than one firefighter suffering a sprain, the paper reported. As for the skunks, Sullivan told the paper no carcasses were found at the scene.
What a moron. Congratulations. You figured your skunks out. But in worse news,
you're another example why we need natural selection to work again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
like when I made this bet with Danny, I was like, dude, there's no way in hell with these little smoke bombs you can light anything on fire. And these were like a quarter of an inch in diameter.
Well, you weren't taking into account the Detroit factor.
I guess not.
You can light anything on fire in Detroit with anything.
I guess so.
The Democratic Party has rendered that entire city flammable.
Yep. No, just gonna say that. Yes, they have.
60 years to the Democratic Party will make your city flammable.
Oh, Lord. God, I'm afraid Chicago's not flammable.
Strike on side the light. Oh, boy. So you guys probably got to jump out of here because you got minions going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have an address? Do we know where we're going? I do not know the way.
Do not know the way.
Yeah.
That's Brad.
Get prostate the address for the minion stream.
Yeah. Do you need it on Twitter?
Sure.
Prostate. Okay. Yep. I'll go ahead and do that.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And
not a problem.
As soon as this stream is over, I will be hopping over and hanging out in the chat.
Right. I'm going to pop out and just wait. Okay.
Sure.
All right. See you in a little bit.
Okay. And I'll be heading out too, guys. Have the rest of the show.
All right. You take it easy. Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
See you around, Inquisitor.
Take care, guys.
Okay, then. Yeah. Jacob Jet's got to jump too because he's also doing the minions, I think. So it is down to us four, and we have the rest of these wonderful Colleen Bernier stories to sink our teeth into.
Oh joy!
Oh fuck this! Just give me the napalm.
Oh boy, we got. I suppose it's a feel good story, but it's a kind of a weird feel good story. Let's see. St. Louis morning radio presenter gives birth on air. Well, if Tom Green can have testicle surgery on air, we can. I guess we can allow this one. We can allow this one. And Burnside is coughing up his right kneecap. There it goes. Oh my gosh. All right. A U.S. morning radio presenter has given birth on the air during her show. It's admirable, given that a lot of women do a lot of cursing when they do that. I guess she was very, very modest in her delivery. That was a double entendre as delivery of her monologues and the delivery of yeah, you get the idea. Anyway, Cassidy Proctor, a weekday morning presenter on the Arch station in the U.S. city of St. Louis, because of course this is an English rag. This is BBC.com, so they have to specify that it is in fact a U.S. city. Anyway, Let's see. Broadcast her birth by cesarean section on Tuesday. Miss Proctor started the experiencing labor pains on Monday. Her radio station worked with the hospital where she gave birth so it could be broadcast. She told the BBC that it was a spur-of-the-moment broadcast opportunity as the baby came 2 weeks early. Quote, "It was amazing to be able to share the most exciting day of my life with our radio listeners," Miss Proctor said of the show. She said that giving birth on air was an extension of what I already do every day on our radio show, as I share all aspects of my life with the listeners. The child, who weighed 7 pounds, 6 ounces, has been called Jameson after listeners selected the baby's name in a competition in January. So you're named after spirits.
Some
Anyhow.
random fuck.
12 silly names and 12 names chosen by the couple. They competed for one slot. We kept voting until we got Jameson, program director Scott Roddy told the Riverfront Times newspaper. Ms. Proctor's co-host Spencer Grave told the BBC that the on-air birth was a magical, intimate moment. Ms. Proctor will now take maternity leave from the Spencer's neighborhood morning show. Okay, well, congratulations on the little bundle of joy.
Or hell, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah, kind of depends on how you look at it. Don't have any illusions of sleep. Sleep no longer exists for you. Get used to prodigious amounts of caffeine. All right. You know how that story ended. This is potentially how another story begins. Brazen couple have sex in front of shocked passengers in moving train carriage. Oh boy. Warning, graphic content. An amazed passenger filmed as a woman began kneeling in front of a man in the carriage on the Nizhny Novgorod metro in western Russia. It was the Russians. The Russians did it. In this case, yes, they kind of did.
Regina is a Russian bot.
It's a Russian troll. Oh my gosh.
The Trojan virus.
Trolls are at it. That troll's going down. And going down again. And then again. Okay. That was a little too tongue in cheek. And lots of other stuff in cheek as well. I'll quit while I'm ahead. Not the Russians.
Yeah.
That was currently being inserted into the mouth of the lady who was, of course, in the Anyhow, commuters on a Russian metro were left shocked after a young couple were spotted having sex on the train. An amazed passenger filmed as a woman began kneeling in front of a man in the carriage on the Nizhny Novgorod metro in western Russia. The mobile phone footage then shows her perform a sex act. But the scandalous couple's behavior soon became even more shocking when she pulled her trousers down before jumping in his lap. There you go. Don't start something you can't finish. Anyway, and the footage, the couple pause as the train stops and a passenger gets on carrying a black bag that partially obscures the camera's view, but the woman can still be seen. At one point, the couple seem to notice they are being filmed, but laugh it off and carry on with their love making. You know what? I ironically sort of titled this particular stream. I had no idea I'd be reading this particular article, but it's fitting now. They aren't, of course, riding in a Volkswagen, but
an episode of Thomas the Train Engine would be raunchy.
Dun, 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 dun. Anyhow, so this is one of those happy accidents, those serendipities, those coincidences. Anyhow, the passion session ends at Moskayaskaya station, where the girl pulls up her trousers, still with a cheeky smile on her face. But shocked internet users in Russia poured scorn on the couple, with one, Yulia Aseva, writing, "Why did no one come over and stop that?" Police declined to comment. The incident comes
because it's Russia. Publicly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. In Japan.
Yeah. The incident comes days after another Russian couple live streamed themselves having sex in front of their crying 3-year-old daughter.
Okay, that's just fucked up.
That is fucked up. Authorities investigating the incident, and the parents Yana Lenova, 23, and Nikolai Kostanevsky, 32, face being deprived of the right to raise their girl, according to the reports. The child from Yaroslavl has been temporarily removed from their home and placed in a hospital where she's undergoing urgent medical and psychological checks following the ordeal.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, gosh.
Jesus Christ.
Somebody really wanted Putin. Damn.
Puritans, as modest as they were, did actually come up with a very very helpful phrase that has been repeated in multitudes since it was originally coined. But they were the ones that originated the phrase "get a room."
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
God.
the best solution to the problem.
Get a fucking room, and not one that's moving on tracks that everybody else can see you. Yeah, there's just some shit that I don't want to.
Thomas don't want any of that shit on his train.
The bathroom, being one of them.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. B, you can help me join the Mile High Club.
Oh man.
I'm on a plane, and if I'm going to walk into the bathroom to go take a leak, a Rasputin is the one thing I don't want to run into. Especially if it's people doing it at the same time.
Rasputin.
You people couldn't wait till we landed. You had to do it right here, right now. Well, I have to take a pee, and it's going to be very hard to urinate while all of you are doing the Rasputin.
Oh my gosh.
Putin elsewhere in the room.
Jesus Christ.
Well, going into our next story, holy shit, this one's really kind of fucked up. Driver crashes car. It's in some ways. It's very different. This is apples and oranges. Driver crashes car into Connecticut hospital, sets himself on fire. That's probably yeah, he's being helpful. He's ridding himself from our gene pool. It would be nice if he wouldn't have crashed into the hospital, because that involves other people. Just set yourself on fire. Yeah, don't make it a team sport. Yeah. A driver intentionally crashed his car into a Connecticut hospital emergency room entrance Thursday morning and set himself on fire. The suspect was identified by authorities as Stephen Ellum, 27, of Middletown, Connecticut. He crashed his silver vehicle into the glass sliding doors of the Middlesex Hospital around 10 a.m., destroying the entrance to the emergency room. Oh, gosh. It appeared that the front end of the vehicle was completely on fire, as well as his body became inflamed as well, said an official earlier, adding the blaze was contained to the vehicle. Witnesses reported to authorities that the man then set himself on fire, according to Fox 61. Several cans containing flammable liquid were found inside the vehicle, Drew said, and were being tested by investigators. The car was impounded at a secure facility. Ellum was taken to the hospital with burn injuries, but Drew did not have any information on his condition. Well, he didn't have to go far. Oh, man.
This is
crashed
funny.
into the first floor, taken to the second floor. Middletown Police Chief Phil McKenna said the suspect was known to other members of the department for several years, dating back to when he was a teen. He was reportedly not on the FBI's radar, however. Well, hopefully.
You're expecting the FBI to actually do their job, Six. Come on, we all know they diddle children in basements and steal things so they can go and make all sorts of ridiculous ice cream machines.
I suppose.
Terrorists and jackasses who want to set themselves on fire and crash into hospitals? Nah. That's not the FBI's job. Their job is to cover up crimes for the Clintons.
The Federal Bureau of Ice Cream.
Yep.
Anyhow. We hop into our van. We have ice cream. The court records obtained by the Associated Press showed Elam has numerous convictions, including for assault, attempted assault, and strangulation. He was also reportedly sentenced to time in prison in 2014. Police responded to the scene within minutes, officials said. The fire department arrived a few minutes later and put out the flames. The bomb squad was also called to the scene. Images from the scene showed a silver vehicle with smashed windshields resting inside the building and the entrance to the hospital demolished. Smoke was seen in the emergency room area. Drew did not provide a possible motive to the incident. McKenna said it was an isolated event, and authorities are confident that the suspect acted alone. We confidently tell you that Middletown is safe, he said. Several buildings in the area, Wells Homes and Elam's neighborhood, were reportedly evacuated pending a bomb squad search. The move was a precautionary measure, Drew said. The hospital said all patients and staff have been accounted for and are safe. The emergency department is closed until further notice. One hospital security guard received medical treatment for smoke inhalation, officials said, which was reportedly incurred while helping to evacuate patients. The employee was the only person hurt, other than the driver, they said. Authorities said they are not aware of any recent threats to the hospital. The FBI and ATF were called to the scene and will work in tangent with local officials to process the scene and conduct interviews.
Because the FBI couldn't do the job themselves, because they're too busy making elaborate ice cream machines and diddling children.
Yeah, they're just busy sitting there. I wonder how we can make this about Russian bots this time.
Yep. I'm telling you, that had to be one of the things they were thinking of. They're like, all right, well, everything's on fire, so no good with that ice cream. So Russian bots, right? Yeah, of course, Russian bots.
It was the Russians.
Everyone who doesn't agree with me is a Russian bot. I'm Bernie Sanders.
Then he approved this message.
And the bloodlines that will come from it.
Cass's new character. I'm digging the whole Bernie thing, but I've taken to calling it Furry Sanders.
I'm Bernie Sanders' slightly more intelligent cousin.
Who also spreads AIDS through his furry antics. That is not cool.
Furry bread lines. It's a yiffing good time.
It's like, how do I pay for all this bread lines? It's like, drop your pants, boy.
Oh, man.
All
right.
Time for another NHL break. It appears as though the Montreal Canadiens have defeated the Manhattan Rangers 3-1. Florida Man has defeated the Ottawa Senators, unfortunately. The Tampa Bay Lightning have defeated Ottawa 4-3. Let's see. What other games did we not mention? San Jose looks like they got destroyed by the Nashville Predators 7-1. Wow.
Damn. Talk about an ass whooping.
Yeah, the Dallas Stars and LA Kings are still at it 0-0 in the second with 13:36 left to go in the period.
Balls.
And that, of course, was your NHL break brought to you by The Next 6 Minutes. So, how was everybody tonight? I didn't really get around to asking how everybody was.
Laughing my balls off. I don't know, some nutbag in fucking Connecticut decided, I'm just going to set myself on fire and crash through an emergency room because I can.
Well,
Don't laugh your balls off, Mr. B. I need them.
You can never accuse this man again of being frigid.
Or intelligent.
Oh man, there's not a SPF high enough for that sunburn.
Oh yeah.
Unless you go full asbestos.
Yep. But I think asbestos is flammable, so that might counteract. I don't know. Nonetheless, it's absolutely fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
You can really feel the burn of stupidity when it's something when it's a truck flying at you or a car.
Feel the burn.
So my cat says hello.
Hi, cat.
Hi, Kitty.
She hasn't said hello for a few days now, but she hopped up and she's staring at me and insisting that I inform everybody that she has indeed, yes, said hello to everybody. So
awesome.
She's kind of like the unofficial mascot of Chaos 120. Her and her vocal prowess. So what's everybody got going on as far as what sort of project, Tara? Of course, she's working on getting some sewing machines, you were saying?
Purses and all that set up. I brought over to Katrina's place my serger, my sewing machine, some more fabric. I have patterns to make purses and book bags and stuff like that.
Awesome. And you said that you were going to be advertising your wares on your mother's Etsy
My
account.
aunts.
Oh, okay, your aunts. Okay.
Yeah, my mom's dead.
Oh, okay. So your aunt. Sorry, I got that one wrong.
It's okay.
Oh, boy.
So let's see.
I had to correct Burnside on calling my stepdad my father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I screwed that one up.
My birth father's dead as well, and all I have left is my stepdad. And he's dad, and when I refer to my birth father, I say daddy. Because, well, I'm Southern, I'm 36, and I still call him daddy.
Yeah, old habits die hard. I still call homosexuals sodomites.
And just how do you feel about bisexuals?
Oh, kitty cat is here.
When it's fitting. Or disaffected sodomites.
Bisexuals.
If they do it in the butt, it's still sodomy.
Kitty cat, you're here. My kitty cat has jumped up on my lap, and now she's.
Oh, she wants attention.
What breed of cat is your cat anyway?
It is a tortoiseshell.
Oh, nice.
She's a good kitty cat.
I might have something new in the works. I was contemplating redoing one of my old 3D projects.
Awesome.
Yeah. When I was in college, one of my finals that I did this industrial nightclub. I made the first floor completely open air, though. I was thinking of redoing the whole thing.
Awesome.
Making it something a bit more realistic.
Oh, I look forward to seeing what you put out there. You're currently working on what, part 4 of your film series?
Yeah, we're on part 4 of Kakistan. Within the next few days, I gotta get over to Bobby Rizzo's place so we can get that rendered. He's got it all filmed and everything. I just gotta go slap it together, and we gotta get some music.
Yeah,
and then
and you can currently watch his part 3 that he just released on his YouTube channel. That the easiest way to find it is type in Frank Rizzo and Burnside. It takes you right there.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah.
Part 3 is pretty good. And part 4 is going to be even funner, and so will part 5 once we get that filmed.
Excellent. Yeah, my kitty cat is now purring quite loudly. Let's see if I can. Can you hear it?
I can't, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I hear nothing.
I hear a bit of it.
That is my cat purring.
Oh,
good kitty. So, Cass, what do you have coming down the pipe?
I'm still trying to figure out stuff on my own and in terms of content. So My channel's still currently a little sparse, but I'm attempting to get there.
It's a work in progress, under construction, as they say. So I'm kind of sort of on a creative hiatus right now. I of course will be producing more content and releasing that come next month, and that's going to be kind of interesting. I'm streamlining a lot of my current format because it's a little on the like I said, it's got some drag, so I'm got out the old rasp, and now I'm filing off all the obstructing airflow stuff to create a more aerodynamic product. So that's what's going on with me. And of course, this Sunday I have a tea time stream. It's going to be on the subject of the NHL trade deadline, which is coming up on I believe the 26th, which is, I believe, Tuesday. So I'm looking for co-hosts who are interested in the sport of hockey and follow it well enough to have a good enough conversation for at least a couple of hours this coming Sunday afternoon. So I'm putting out the feelers for that and seeing what I catch with the broad net that I'm throwing. So we'll get to our outros here. Of course, we were joined earlier by Jacob Jett. He is a chat regular, and he's getting into being on live streams himself. But certainly, you see him a lot in various live streams chat sections. So whenever you do run across Jacob Jett, you just say hi to the guy because he's a cool dude. And let's see. We were also joined by Inquisitor, who is a member of the Minions of the Zoo. He's a good guy. He streams with us pretty frequently. And we've always had an enjoyable stream with him. And we were also, of course, joined by our new Wednesday host, I Write Prostate. Really good guy. Please subscribe to his channel and Inquisitors as well. And we'll start here with Cass.
Sup?
Outro, please.
So I'm Kaz Warfox. You can find my channel under the same name and picture I use here. I do politics and gaming stuff, provided when I can make that content. It's been a while, I know. I'm a little farcy with it. If you can handle my furry personality, please subscribe.
All right. So where's your sign off? You didn't say your sign off.
Oh yeah, what? Yif yif.
There you go. That's the icing on the cake. That is the cherry on top, as they say.
Yif yif.
And Burnside doing his rounds. Tara.
I'm Tara Sin. I'm starting my own small business making purses, holiday wreaths, book bags, maybe costumes. You can find me on IMVU, YouTube, and Twitter. And I will be posting pictures of the products on Twitter as well as selling them on an Etsy account. Awesome.
And certainly follow both of these two awesome individuals. So Burnside, you back yet? I guess not. Let's see. I'll do my outro, and when he gets back, we'll do his outro. Then we'll say sayonara. Okay, I am the next 6 minutes. You must spell out the word 6 in my name in order to find my primary channel, or you can follow the link, which is in the description of this video, to my primary channel. I have lots of wonderful programming there. Please enjoy. I also run the Next Live Streams channel, which you're listening to right now. Let's see. Of course, I do have that Sunday tea time stream upcoming. Also, we're getting close to the 1st of March. I will be announcing the subject of my wonderful collaboration project that I'll be executing. I will be going underway with next month. So I eagerly await that wonderful day that I'll unveil the subject, and certainly I will start putting out invitations to people that I would like to help participate in that project. So that's sort of what's going on with me, and we're continuing to retool this Chaos 120 stream. We're going to be making lots of additions, lots of changes, lots of improvements, lots of streamlining. It's going to be
stronger, faster, more efficient.
Damn straight.
Now Mr.
Damn
B
straight.
can do his outro.
All right, outro, please.
All right, I am the Burnside Film Project. You can find me on YouTube, BitChute, and Gab AI when I'm not making sure that the elevators aren't breaking down and getting people caught in them. And you can also find me on Twitter as Burnside_bums. And stay tuned. We got stuff we're going to be working on and all sorts of fun crap just as soon as these elevators decide they want to actually fucking work for once.
Awesome. So thank you very much again, chat, for being so awesome as to set aside some time to watch us talk about Russians banging each other on trains or in front of their 3-year-old children, as this is the Romance Volkswagen. That this is a Herbie reference, of course, the love bug. The number that he had.
Alone.
Yeah, he had 53 painted on his side, so they're. But I didn't anticipate. There we go. Herbie going bananas. 5 of 3. It is ocho. Anyway, so thank you again, chat, and thank you, of course, all of my guests here, and thank you to Jacob Jet, Inquisitor, and the awesome Irate Prostate for your contribution to the stream. We are out, and thank you all for joining us tonight.
Yep.